Wagwan family tree, welcome to another how-to, and we're going to work on Reversao today, which is just a really cool soft acrobatic variation that stems a lot from, we can get straight into this, no mess, no fuss, that stems from our lateral monkey hop. So from here, I'm reaching and closing across the body, hands come down, push, feet past the hands. Come across, hand, hop, and land. Hand, hop, and land. That's pretty much the foundation of the Reversao. Then, once we're used to that, we do exactly the same, but we take a step into it, which gives us a little bit more momentum. So from here, I'm stepping across, hop, and already that step, you might feel a little bit more momentum. So I step, reach, go, and you might even feel like a kind of a winding sensation, which is what we want. So if it feels a bit clumsy and like it's running away from you, then good. It might be like, oh, and turns into like kind of this windy sensation. From here, what we're going to work on is exactly the same step. We're going to turn it into our hopping habujahai, or hopping meia. As you can hear, if you're not familiar with capoeira, it stems from a foundation of capoeira kick. So, exactly the same entry, we're just going to lay it into it. A step, reach across, but the trailing leg now is going to swing like a stingray tail all the way to the line of direction that I want to travel, which for now is this direction. So I step, hands come down, this tail kicks up, and I do this spinning heel kick through a hop and land like so. Again, step, kick, and round. And we're already starting to use the physics of our levers to help really take us into this momentum and free energy, so to speak, with that kicking leg long and strong. So, to build up into this again, another step, get comfortable with those, and we can turn it into kind of catching into a baby kind of Reversao, so to speak. So it's going to be landing in this single arm reverse hip bridge position. So I step, catch, kick, but I'm really going to find this winding rotation of the hips to land in that reverse tabletop. Even just let it land into a squat if it feels a bit intense. So step one could be catching into squat. When you feel comfortable there, trying to catch it with the hips a little bit higher. Like so. Really squeezing the bum cheeks. And if that feels quite comfortable actually, again we're just layering up. Can you use the whip of the legs, the momentum, and the squeezing of the bum cheeks to land standing up? And then we're already sort of 90% of the way there. So you might be comfortable. Oh, that was heavy, but you see what I mean. So pushing out of that shoulder and trying to land a little bit higher. From a different angle. Step one might be landing into squat. Feeling the hips rotate, which is really important. Step two might be landing with the hips high. Step three might be taking it all the way up and seeing if you can use the momentum of the high hips to lift you up to standing. So layering up again. Now what we're going to do is something that actually requires a little bit more mapping. It might take a little bit more repetition and coordination of the movement. I'm just demonstrating one side, just so I can commit to left and rights without getting confusing. If, I should have given this caveat at the start, if you're on the other side, left is right, right is left, exactly the same process. So from here, it's exactly the same, but what's going to happen now is this kicking leg, the trailing leg, is going to land and catch the floor, whilst the right leg, the pushing leg, stays up. And we want to keep this leg really long and strong. Again, I spoke about free energy. The longer we keep this leg, the easier it's going to be to land in the position. Like so. So we're going to try and land, left foot planted, knee bent, right leg long. We're going to land in this position. So if we do the full step, it'll look a little bit like this. And landing here. And just getting used to the coordination of that. I'm really pushing from the shoulder as I take that step. So I step in and push. This shoulder's doing so much work to land a little bit lighter through here. And the push of that shoulder is actually going to help keep the hips a little bit higher. So once you've done 10,000 reps there, get used to the baby Reversao. Landing in that single leg position. Now we can work on actually some supplementary drills that will really, really help this movement. To bridge the gap into the next step, which is landing up a little bit higher and landing up into stance, we can use anything that kind of replicates something like a sofa, a bench, a chair. It can be a ledge of a wall. It doesn't have to be this high. The lower it is, the more challenging it's going to be. You can start quite high, and if you can, slowly progress down. But we don't have to be able to touch the floor with this by any means, but just feel this real lengthening sensation. So we're going to find a contralateral hand tap onto, sorry if that was loud, onto the bench. And it's going to look like this. So if I'm committing to this same direction each time, the left foot, the landing leg is going to be balancing on the floor. This leg long and strong. And I'm going to take my right hand back, which is that pushing arm. And I want to feel this squeeze and lengthening. So I'm tapping onto the bench and lifting back up. Tapping down. Notice I'm keeping this leg long. If I'm compromising the shape to just think about balancing on the foot and tapping down, coming back up, useless. Nothing's getting done there. We want to focus on that pointed foot. Then, if this height feels somewhat comfortable, we can see if we can mark it a little bit lower and push back up. Or if you have an opportunity to change the height, feel free. And this is really going to give you that sensation of keeping the glutes active and the leg strong. The more I point through this foot, the more it's going to help lift my body up into a standing position. So then, once we work on that drill, I'm trying to take the exact same principle of my contralateral taps, reverse hinge taps, into the full motion. And this is what bridges the gap between. It's quite a long bridge as well. So take time, keep repeating, keep refining it, because sometimes it can be the hardest progression. It will take us from, notice here the shape was exactly the same, strong foot, hips active, which can then take us into, it's really my right toes and my right shoulder pushing. So as my toes reach, my shoulder pushes, and it'll turn it into push. And see how the momentum actually takes it round into this winding position, which is a really nice accessory aesthetic to the Reversao, taking it all the way around. So it's exactly the same build-up. Push. And it sweeps it into that. Now it takes a little bit of repetition. We've got all the tools in our locker now to build up into this. So really all it is a matter of taking it into the progression that you need to work on and just repeating it, seeing where the goal and the expectation will be into the next progression, and just chasing that. Repeat, repeat, repeat. Bruce Lee, 10,000 reps until we feel that progression a little bit more succinctly. And hopefully these drills will take you into the Reversao. I think that's it. If not, if you feel like I missed something, give a little bit of a comment. You can even dislike the video if you want to. Rather not, but you can. And leave a comment. see if something helped, see if there was something that was missing. Let's work on this co-created space. If you liked it, like the thing, give it a thumbs up. If you want to keep synergizing here, then feel free to subscribe to your boy, and we'll keep it going. We'll keep it flowing. We'll keep it growing. Love, 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 family.